welcome to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. So I'm Brenda today, Brenda every day, obviously. But so I'm going to be bringing you this project for the upcoming years. And this is something you can make for a craft fair, for gifts, for your coworkers, just a calendar for the upcoming year. So this is for 2025. So this calendar was inspired by Crafting with Paula, I do believe, and I'll have a link to her video as well so you can see what she did. I'm not taking any credit for it. This is all her. So this project was inspired by her. I saw it a while ago and I thought this would be a really good year to make it because Dollar Tree just published just had their 2025 calendars out. So this is a Dollar Tree project. So this is the packet that I found at my local dollar store. And it has 3 of these pages. So you can make it's great because you can make 3 calendars with just 1 packet, but it only has 1 notebook attached. So this is how it comes. So I'll just pull it apart. I'm not doing anything with the notebook itself just yet. I have another project in mind. So the idea being is you can remove this calendar from its base, and you will have to separate these. Forgot to get the dimensions of this. And I'll just set that aside. And the magnet is on the back, so you can hang on to that too if you if you want to be economical. So I forgot to get that. Do I have my thing? Not the best with measurements, but I'll do my best. Let me grab my ruler. Yep. Okay, so it looks like this is, and I'll just swing down a little. Oops, go the other way. Swing down a little bit. So it looks like this is 3 by it looks like 2 1/4. Okay, put that over there. So when you get this, like I said, it has multiple pages. So all you would do is remove the months. That would be the first step in this. And try not to crinkle the pages and handle these gently, like so. Bring it back out a little bit. So that would be the step 1. And then you can turn this notebook. Miss Paula she made a notebook cover to go over this to be a set. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not, but you can follow her instructions or do what I'm doing. You will need a cinch if you don't have a cinch. Now she has an alternative video, so if you don't have the cinch or the mini cinch or whatever, a cinching tool or a binding tool, then she has an alternative on her video on how to make this calendar base without having to do that. I'm going to straighten my camera because it went wonky again. But I have the multi-cinch, so that's what I'm using to make these pages. And so that's what it looks like. So it's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty clever. And I think it's going to make a fantastic gift. So let's talk about, I've talked about that for terms of where you get your calendar pages. Now, I waited for my local dollar store to have this in stock, and I just stocked it, and it was in stock like at the last weekend when I got it. But you can order the same type of calendars online on Amazon, and you can also just make your own. I was in Design Space. If you have Cricut access, people have actually done calendar templates for this type of flip calendar or desk calendar. So then you're going to need some type of paper pad, and again, I followed her suggestion. So I purchased this paper pad at my local craft store, and it was on sale. It was on sale for $3 freaking. No, is it $3 or $7? I think one was, I can't remember, but I got it for a steal. And these are all of the papers, except I didn't use this one, but I used all of these and the solid packs to make it. And she was right. You don't have to worry about coordinating colors because everything is there. And I also, well, yeah, $3. I purchased a second one as well, big old 12 by 12 paper pad, if I wanted to change it up a little bit. So that's the mechanics of that. You will need a cinch. So here's a cinch. I got the multi-cinch, and then I'm using the square insert. You will need a cutting pad, or a cutting paper trimmer, something to cut the paper. So I'm using this as well. And if you want to do it all by hand, you will need some scissors, glue, tape runner, and then you will need some binding wire. Let me see, that's black, so I can't really see that. So here you go, as well. Okay. Now, we've had this discussion on many, many occasions. I am not the best at cutting things manually. So I did everything on my Cricut. Like Cricut do most of the cutting. And so this is kind of what I ended up doing. So for your 12, you will need 12 of these pages. So 12 of these mats for your, I'll bring you back down. You'll need 12 of these. So that's why it's a great idea to use that 12 by 12 paper pad. Take you back over to design space. So this is what this light blue squares are. These are my 12 calendar pages. So you could fit 6 of these on a 12 by 12 mat. And then you would cut this out twice. And then the dimensions for this, I have it right over here, is, so those individual squares are 4.25, no, 4.5 by 3 3/8. So I have my well. So in design space, let me ungroup this, and then I'll just click on an individual square. So it's 4.5 by 3.375. So we'll regroup that. So that takes care of the individual pages. But let me bring you back over here. I feel like I'm going back and forth. But there's also, I've matted the calendar to this pink page here. So I'll take you back over to design space. So then this is what these black squares are. And let me ungroup that. And then that translates to 3.25 by 2.5. So 3.25 by 2.5. And then you will need 12 of those. And I do believe all of these will fit on a 12 by 12 paper, size paper. Let me regroup. Then you'll need a pen holder, which I chose not to use, but you can cut this by hand. And then for the calendar base, you will need a 12 by 12. I'm sorry, it's going to be 12 inches by 4.5. I'm not sure why it has that weird measure. I must have moved something. Oh, probably because it's group too. But that's what you need. And then you're going to score this at 1.5, 6, and 10.5. So this one, when I went to use my Cricut to cut it out and wanted to use the 12 by 24 mat, which is fine. I have it, but not everyone has it. And this is just easier to cut by hand. So I just use my paper trimmer to do this. And to score it as well. But I make it because, you know, some days I don't feel like I can cut straight. So I made that for myself just in case. So I will have this on my landing page. I'll have this on my I'll have this on my in my description for my landing page if you want to cut out the template, and in a description for the video, and then the supply list as well. So I always forget to turn my Cricut on, so I've already cut most of this out. So let me pause and turn my Cricut on, and then I'll show you the mats. So let's see. So we'll do this. I can never get my cursor to work right. When I click on Make It, so I'm going to put on mat and confirm. So if you don't have the 12 by 24 mat, you can skip this. And I found that when I did use it, it kind of cut off my paper here because you have that inch, I think half an inch up at the top. So it didn't give me exactly what I wanted. So I typically skip this part. And then you can change this. So if it's presenting like this, you can change it to 12 by 12. And then it'll reorder this mat, and there you go. Those are your matting for the paper calendar, and then you can change it here. So to get all this nonsense out the way and stop having to do all of this, I just chose not to have the Cricut cut out this part. So I would just hide it. Oh. There you go. And then go back to where we're at. So everything's on 12 by 12. And then if you want to make the paper, the pen holder, you can. I'm opting out to do that right now because I'm not sure if I'm going to add the pen to the design or not. But that's a personal choice. So I'm going to take you over to where I cut some of this out so you can enjoy that, and then I'll meet you on the other side for assembly. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut out most of what I've done. So I left this. So these are the things I left. So I went ahead and prep so you wouldn't have to watch a long video of me cutting everything out and punching all of these holes. So this was what I chose. So this is my last month. And I am not a big, huge fan of tape runner. But since this paper is really, really thin, I didn't want to have any issues with the glue just warping the paper. So I am using tape runner. I do it right. I'm not a tape runner girl. I'm a liquid glue girl. I will be using my liquid glue, but for this, I've never had good luck with these tape runners, but I have to admit, I got this as a free gift from scrapbook.com, and I'm really enjoying using it because it wasn't working. And I don't have the patience for stuff that doesn't work. So what you want to do when you're assembling this, let me make sure if we get up a little further, is make sure that you are trying to get an even border all the way around. And it's a handmade gift. I'm not always the best at centering things. So I'm standing up so I can kind of hover over it. But do the best you can. And if it's a little wonky, no one is going to call you out on it. And so that fit flat. There's no bumps and ripples from the liquid adhesive. Now before you glue this on, I want to go ahead and punch this before I glue this down. So I will be using liquid adhesive for that. So I'll put that up there. And then, so let's talk about this. I'm kind of new to the binding machines. So this was what I first made when I first attempted this. What I do not like and what drove me nuts, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do this project, is I don't know if you can see, look at the space between here and here. I hated that. I absolutely hated that. So I needed to figure out how to make this space evenly. Like I didn't want that such a big gap here and then such a small gap here. Okay. So I cut it all out. I've wasted a ton of this paper. I was not happy. I could have kicked myself because I should have just used white cardstock, so which I did do. So I played with the cinch, and I determined that for the best possible spacing that I could get on either side, left and right, is using 3 inches and not use the guide that comes with the cinch. So the guide with the cinch says if you have, and it's really down in there, and I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. You probably can't. Well, anyway, there's a little guide here. And it says if you're using 1.5 holes, which is what this is nope, I didn't even like B, because it says if you're using 3/8, you can use B. Didn't even care for it. No. So 4 1/4 by 3 3/8. And I want 9 holes. That's the optimum. So I just played with it and played with it and played with it. So what I ended up doing is just moving this scrap. I cut several of these out, and then I just moved it around till I figured out where I needed it to place it. So back down a little. Sorry. Back out a little bit. So right here is the 3 inches. That's the perfect placement to get this arrangement here. Not absolutely perfect, but better than what it was, which was what this mess was. Can't take it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and punch this last one really quickly. I'll have to turn it this way. So I'm lining it up at the 3. I'll turn it this way at the 3 inch here. So I'm just going to eyeball it, and then I'm going to get it all the way to the back of the machine till you hit it. And then I'm just going to put it at the 3 inches, hold it down, and then press down. This is not a heavy cardstock, and then this is what you get. Then to get the other, so this punched out 6 holes. So to get the other 3, I'm going to, there's a stopper, so it holds this in place. So, and then it'll punch the rest of the holes out. And so when I say there's a stopper, here is the little mechanism that stops it. Okay. So you've got to do a little, it reminds me of typing from back in the day. I've said this before. So you push that button down to hold it. Turn it this way. And then push down. And that takes care of that. Okay. And you won't see my messy desk. I'll come in a little. Okay, and that takes care of that. So when you're doing your calendar base, let's talk about that, because that would be the next thing that you would punch, is on your paper trimmer. This is what it looks like. So this is 12 by 4.25, and then you score at 1/2, 6, and then 10.5. So before you start putting your assembling everything, you want to punch that too. So I've already punched it. So here's what it looks like. I'm not going to punch that. So this is all done. So now that you have everything assembled, the last thing I want to do, I have this punched and this punched because they're going to match. I have this on here, so I'm going to glue this down because this is my last month. So I'm going to use some liquid adhesive because now I have some backing. I knew every time. Got another one. Maybe this one will work. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to put the glue all the way around. Now you could certainly use the tape runner if you like, but again, I like the liquid adhesive. So then I'm going to kind of put it in between these two. When you line it up, just eyeball it, but my ideal spacing would be in between these two punches as best you can, and try to get an even border all the way around. And then there you go. That takes care of that. Now I have my 12 months. I have my calendar base. So let's talk about this calendar base before I go forward. This is not the, I like the color because it's coordinating, but this is not the heaviest of heavy cardstock. So when you take your score it like this, and do the crease, and then you're going to glue it like this, right? But this is not the heavy, and this, so I'm going to be adding a wire in all these 12 pages. It doesn't feel as sturdy as I would like it to be, because I want it to stand up pretty straight on its own. So you can add some reinforcement. So I'm going to add, I've got some heavy cardstock left over from a project. This is very, very, I think it's a 110 pound cardstock. So I'm just going to add a little bit of reinforcement to the project, just because I know from experience, which I had to do for this one, I added a little reinforcement. So all those ones that I messed up, I added just a little bit of reinforcement so it could stand up straight. So I'm going to do the same here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Well, see, I told you I can't cut straight to save my soul. So I'm just going to add it here. I'd like to have it a little, but this works. And I'm going to add it on both sides. And then you can add a little reinforcement here if you want to the base, just to keep it from tipping over, just to make it feel a little bit sturdy. So before I start cinching everything together, I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then I punched the holes first before I added the reinforcement. And this just gives it a little bit more sturdy base. Try to get it all the way around. I'm making a trapezoid, not a square. But that's why there are people in this world who can cut straight, and there are people in this world like me who just don't have a clue. And my husband is one of those people who can cut straight. I say that all the time. I'm so jealous. Okay. So before you start gluing your base down, you want to make sure that you have your reinforcements done. And then before I do anything else, because now I'm about to bind the calendar pages. So before I do anything else, I want to go ahead and cut my wire. So these have 9 holes. I've already pre-cut this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have another, so I can get 2 out of the 1 wire. So that's pretty economical too. So, and then you could use the leftovers for mini books or mini notebooks. So 1, and then I have my little thing. So I'm going to show you that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. Measure twice, cut once, because guess what? This would be a pretty expensive mistake. Now I'm going to hang on to this side because then I can make a mini notebook with this. Okay, so that's how you cut your wire, and you're going to hang that to the sides. Okay. So now everything looks good. I got my wire cut. I got this done. So now I'm ready to bind it or cinch it together. So when you cinch it, you're going to put the pages upside down. Because remember, make sure I'm doing that right. Because then when I flip it over, it'll be, oh, I'm not going to bind it. I'm sorry. I meant to I need to do a cover. Yeah, okay. So it didn't come with a cover. Like, she didn't say put a cover on it. Well, I'm going to add a cover. And I forgot to do that. I'm going to do something decorative to the cover. But I did cut them out. So I'm going to probably put something on here. I'm going to cut out another mat. So I have some already here. And then probably put 2025 or something inspirational on the front. The person that I have intended to give this to gets an annual calendar anyway, but this is just something pretty to put on the desk. So I'm going to add a cover. They may not ever use it, but at least if they keep it closed, it'll have something pretty. So to me, this is where you can use your personal. I have some stamps. I can stamp a flower. I can stamp characters. I can stamp a word. You can use your pen feature on your Cricut to draw something, which that's not a bad idea because I got all those pens from Cricut and I don't use that to draw something. Just had a thought. So I'm not going to bind it because I want to add I forgot to do that. I want to add a cover just to kind of finish the look, because right now this is what it looks like, but there's no cover. Like, there's nothing over this. So even if the person never uses the calendar or they want to gift it to someone, it's finished. And to me, this feels unfinished. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'll be back. Let me think about it. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do, because I would like you to see how I bind it. So yeah, I'll be back. So I am back, and this is what I decided for my project to complete it, to kind of finish it. So I went through Design Space, and I will have a link if you're interested on my thought process and how I landed at um, this print and cut project. So I matted the mat, so to speak. So I just did something really quickly. Hello 2025. I thought that was really clever. And it's because of the beginning of the year, like the one that looks like fireworks. And then I did, yeah. So and then I did a mat because I was going to map this to the already existing mat that I had. So that was just my little guide, and I'm going to take you back to my work surface. This is all done. So here we're back again. So I've punched out my cover page. Again, this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I thought that would be a nice finish. So, and then this is the project that I ended up doing on the fly. And so this is just some regular cardstock that I did the print then cut, and I think it's gonna go just great right here. So let me do that really quickly. I probably should have glued this all up, but it's all good. You can just kind of see the process. And again, the cover page was an afterthought, so it wasn't like, oh, I need to do this. It was just kind of an afterthought. And then I'll put it right here, like before. Yeah, it won't take long. And then now I can do my thing and finish this up. And then I'll have it finished. Got my second one. And then you learn on the way as you do these things. You learn on the way. Just, did I? Okay, no. This is the one thing I like about using liquid glue. If I didn't like the placement. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not trying to be precise. But if you wanted to be ruler precise, you can pull out your ruler. Okay. Now, I think that finishes this calendar as opposed to this. Although there's nothing wrong with this, I just think this gives it a little, just finishes it. All right, so now we need to bind it. So you turn these guys over. So the idea being is when you bind it, and then I can flip it, and then it's going to be on this side. Okay, that's the idea. So let me get my cinch back over here. Not the best at this. I'm still learning. So this was the kind of the back side, so I'll keep it that way. But before I do that, I'm going to hook this onto the side, like so. Let me make sure everybody's got a little, there we go. And then I'm going to put down my calendar base that I reinforced. So there we go. Then I'm just going to put down all of my thing there. So that's step one. Step two is to get the binding wire. Oops, let me cap that so my glue won't dry out. Is to get the binding wire in here. So you want to get your wires like underneath this. There's like a little lip. I can show you here. There's like a little lip right there that you want to get your wires. And the trick is to kind of keep it, so to keep everything rounded, because you want when you cinch it to be round, so you want to get this touching the back of that. And again, it's a skill. It's an art to this. And then you want to, whoop, okay. It works when I'm not talking, so let me stop talking. Oops. And I can kind of see that it's slipping around on me. I don't have it secure under that lip. see it now. And I am really being precise because I want this to come out the first time, and I don't want no wonky. I want it to be a perfect circle. So you got to get it in there and take your time with this and be patient with yourself and allow it to get in there. That's still not. Okay, so it's still not. I might have to do this off camera because I can't, I don't think I'm, yeah, I'll be back. Okay, I think I got it. It's probably my angle. So yeah, I got everything in there like I want it. And then you're just going to press down on the cinch to get it to go. Make sure everything's in there. And I'm pressing down pretty good. And I still didn't get any movement. Okay, so let's try that again. Because you want it to close it. Okay, there we go. I can see it closing now. And I think I screwed that up. See? I'm thinking too hard. See how I screwed that up? You want it to be perfectly round, so I got to fix it now. So I'm back. And I finally got it to work. Oh my God. It took forever. So I ended up destroying 2 of my nicely colored binding wires, but I got it to work. Finally, after multiple tries. The key that I was missing is to make sure that both of these wires are in here. Can't really see with the black one, but I got it to work and I got it to close. So let's finish this off. Now, if this is, you can cut off the edges. I'll wait and finish that up. So this is what it's going to look like. The final step, oh my God, I can't believe it took me that long, is to glue this. So what you want to be mindful of is whatever's going to be the front, you want to make sure you have a nice clean edge when you glue it. Not sure if I got this in there right. Like, it's not standing up as like as I want. Okay, yeah. Nice clean edge at the bottom. And like I said, if you want to add some reinforcements, you can. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I'm going to keep it kind of like this, so I'll know which side is which. And nope, this glue boy is not happy. Let's do that. Let's do this. Yeah, I had to fight with my cinch. I'm mad, but it's all good. It's all good. But like I said, I'm no one's expert at this, so just forgive me. I couldn't get it on camera. I have to practice some more. So yeah, I've got it standing up like that. If you could see me glue it, but I'm just gonna use that. Use my thing. It's not the color I wanted, but it'll work. I'm not sure if I got it like I need it. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't really know. You know what? Let's just stick it back in here and see if I can do a little better. Again, I'm not one to, and it could just, I don't know, this just could be operator error. But I want to make sure it's closed. So, because you can see it's like round here. So, just, okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. I'm not gonna go there. Just gonna leave it like it is. I'm not gonna complain. It is a nice desk calendar. It's handmade. I will cut off this piece here like that because I don't want that to stick out and poke anybody. So I'm going to do it at an angle. Just be careful when I cut it off. And if it's too sharp, you can just get a file and file it down if you think it's going to injure someone. So I'm just going to cut it off. Just be careful when I do it. And then I'm just going to pinch these a little together just to make sure. You won't want it to come apart. That's just me. I'm just like hypersensitive about stuff like that. Okay. Now I have a beautiful desk calendar for 2025. So the struggle is real. So if you like my struggle, please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong with my cinch to bind it. I just think I need to practice, but I don't have a lot of practice wire, and I don't do it often as much as I would like to get it perfected, but I'll get there because no one's perfect all the time, every time. So I will talk to you guys later. So enjoy, and I'll see you soon.